Been speaking to many entertainers, musicians, artists, singers and songwriters over this recent past since the lockdown and all the rest of it. I'm delighted to be able to catch up with a gentleman who's been performing in London and in the UK for many, many moons. Originally from County Down, he has played at this stage thousands upon thousands of functions, also with a full band and all the rest of it. Incredibly well known. I'm delighted to say hello to Barry Owen. Barry, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Jerry. How are you?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad. You were one busy lad for many, many years.
My God, yeah. Before this dreaded virus came along, I think it's going to be my busiest year. I've been working in London for about 35 years now, and when I think back, there wasn't enough nights in the week when I started off, and it's gradually going down. But I'm very busy with functions and weddings, and I do a lot of the sort of county association dances. So yeah, over the years I've been very busy. Thank goodness.
Indeed, you were, certainly were, and it all came to an abrupt end. It must be on the lockdown. It must be a major shock to you.
Well, I mean, it's something you can't even contemplate. I mean, these are the strangest times to be, so busy, and then suddenly everything just stops. It's really a shock to the system. So it's just trying to get used to it, and then hoping that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's the thing. We're all sort of keeping going. It's been 4 months now. I stopped work just before Paddy's Day, and I actually just did my first gig there last night there, and it was nice to be back. It was really nice to be back. I've done a couple of things on YouTube just to, people request and say, I didn't go for the Facebook thing myself, but I just thought I'd do a couple of things which I put on YouTube, and people appreciate it. So it was nice to get some good feedback.
Indeed, so yes, it's Barry Owen Lockdown Live, export of Barry Owen Lockdown Live 2.
That's it. That's the one. Have a listen. What do you think?
Indeed, sounding good. I'll have to say I did get a listen to it. And you were out for quite a number of years actually with it was Barry Owen and the Main Attraction.
That's correct. Yeah, I've got a full 4-piece band. Drummer and a girl singer. So we're covering everything. I mean, we do obviously all the Irish and the country stuff, but we can turn it around and do the pop stuff as well. And so we're catering for all ages and all genres, really. We're just not specific to one thing, which suits us very well, because in a wedding you'll get sort of older people wanting a bit sort of ballads and jive and waltzing, and we can do that. And then you get the young ones, they want a bit of the pop stuff, so we can mix it up. We sort of keep the crowd on the floor. That's what we aim to do.
Right, excellent stuff. That's you do sort of an all-around show. So, well done on that. Did you performed? You're originally from County Down. I mean, have you done any work outside of Ireland or the UK?
Yeah, we've done quite a lot of things in America. We went over to Nashville through the Irish dancing, actually, because my wife has a very successful Irish dancing school, and they had the North American Championships over in Philly and Nashville, and they invited us over to perform at they have a big ball at the end of the dancing. So that was a fantastic experience. We really enjoyed that, and there's so many Irish dancers all over the world, but they all love the Irish music, and we really enjoyed being out there. And we've done out of that. We've done weddings over there as well. I've worked in Canada. I've worked in Europe, in Germany, France. Actually did a gig in Hong Kong. They opened the show Les Miserables in Hong Kong, and they flew us over for the opening night. So that was a fantastic experience as well.
Indeed, so I actually came across on YouTube a video of you, which appears to be it's at the Midnight Sun Song Festival in Finland.
Oh, you found that, did you?
I did, yes.
I don't know who put that on. It wasn't me. Trust me. No, quite a few years ago, I did. As you can see by the hairstyle, the mullet was back there, so it gives you a clue. It's back in the 80s at some stage. But I do quite a few song contests. I started off. I did one in Russia. I did Finland. I did Norway, and it was very successful. So that was a fantastic experience, because the Eurovision in Europe is massive. obviously Ireland's done very well over the years, but in Europe they take it very seriously, and it's a massive thing. And it was a great experience to go over there and perform, and it was all televised. When you're a young lad of 20 odd, it's a fantastic experience,
Indeed, so I see from the from the video of it. I mean, it's absolutely in a huge auditorium, packed auditorium, where there appears to be just thousands of people, and it is a completely and totally professional, televised show.
Oh yeah, we had full band and orchestra there, all the TV cameras, and I say those sort of Eurovision things, they're massive, and they go out to millions of people all over Europe. The Eurovision Song Contest here in the UK is sort of taken as a bit of a joke, but over there it's taken very seriously, and they really love it.
Indeed.
To go over there, be asked to represent Ireland over there and be successful I really, really enjoyed it.
It was a tremendous, honour to do it, and it's something incredible to do, and something I'll tell you, I have never got to grips with as to how the Eurovision or anything like that is sort of a joke. I mean, it's the biggest window for music in the world.
Exactly, and I don't know why. I think because England probably haven't been as successful as some of the other countries, but Ireland's been very successful with Johnny Logan, and God, he's won it 2 or 3 times, and he's massive over. I mean, in Germany, I actually met him at one of the song contests, and he was treated like such a big star over there because of his success. And I mean, Ireland, for such a small country, have done really well.
Indeed, so it punched well above its, its weight in the past. Mind you, in the more recent past, success has sort of eluded in many, many ways. But who knows, around the corner, there may possibly be, more success for Ireland.
Well, I think Ireland won so many times they couldn't afford to actually run it, because you can imagine the cost of trying to stage, the production and the TV and the orchestra. So I think we'd done so well over the years, we were running out of money, so I think they wanted to give it a miss for a few years, but I'm sure they'll be back. I mean, the wealth of songwriting talent and singing and musicianship is second to none for such a small country.
Indeed it is. You must miss incredibly meeting the people, outperforming, but not alone that, actually meeting the people and seeing the people.
Well, when I did those lockdown live things for YouTube, the comments were coming back, oh, this takes me back. I mean, I used to play in a club in West London called the Spinning Wheel. It was famous for many years. I think I played there for 12 years, nearly every Friday night, and the crowd used to be lining up in the street. And then, so people sort of remember those great days, and we thought it would never end. Sadly, it did, but it was nice to get the comments that, when I performed some of the songs, oh God, this takes me back to the 80s and the 90s and the great nights we had there. And there was people, I'd been all over the world, and people said, oh, I'm working over in America. I met people over there and say, we used to go to this club in West London called the Spinning Wheel. I said, well, I used to play. Oh my God, great memories for such a venue to be known on the other side of the Atlantic, But those were good old days. Sadly, I think it's now a Sainsbury's, so that's the state of things at the minute.
Indeed. And when the more mature guys like yourself and myself sort of think, I mean, if we think about all those places like the Spinning Wheels and numerous other venues who are so huge in the Irish community, and they just went overnight and gone forever.
Yeah, I think it's really sad, because I mean, people used to meet there. I mean, I've done so many weddings, and the people would come up to me. We actually used to go and listen to you in the Spinning Wheel, and now we're getting married, and I'm doing their wedding, and then they have children. It's a great sort of history of Irish people in London. It's one of the great venues. They're all over London in those days. I mean, I did the National, did the Forum, the Gresham, and famous Galway, of course, and sadly they're all gone. So where do people meet? That's the problem, and especially with the lockdown thing, there's no real opportunity for people to go out and meet other people. So it's a very, very strange time. And as I say, I just can't wait for this to end and things to get back to some sort of normality. It was great, as I say, playing there on Sunday night. I was up in a lovely pub called the Red Line up in Enfield. There's a man there, runs it, Ray Bell, all the way from Tullamore, a gentleman. And, people were just saying, oh, it's nice to be back and we can go out. And, it was all very strict. We all followed the guidelines. Sadly, there was no dancing because you're not allowed to dance. But you could see people, clap along and tapping their feet. And that's all that's missing at the minute. If we can just get back to that sort of normality. And people want to, they've been cooped up for so long. It's nice to get out and meet a few friends, have a few drinks and sing along and enjoy the music.
Indeed so. Barry, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you. You're an immensely talented guy, and listen, stay safe, stay well, and fingers crossed that we'll all be back in action as soon as it's safe to do so.
Yes, Jerry, absolutely, and it's great to speak to you, and the very same to you, and we hope to see you all out in the venues as soon as possible. Until then, God bless, and thank you very much.